That's the key for me.
So the big question is, what are top agents doing to absolutely crush it in real estate? To get the answers, we interview the top real estate agents to learn their secrets to success. If you would like one-on-one access to over 26 of the top agents in the country to help you scale your business, then head over to eliteagentsecrets.com/partner, or you can just click the link in the description below. My name is Andrew Dunn.
And my name is Peter Michael. Welcome to Elite Agent Secrets.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Elite Agent Secrets show. Today we've got Jacinda Wright with us. She's been in real estate for 8 years. She's averaging over 40 transactions a year as a completely solo agent, and has just brought on a transaction coordinator. She's feeling nervous about it. One deal, maybe in her whole career, has been helped with. So she's going to be talking to us today about planning your days and weeks, your sphere of vendors, and answering your clients and getting involved in your community. Jacinda, thank you for coming on the show with us today and agreeing to share some of your secrets to success. Top secret shit is getting released today. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you for having me here. One of my practices is to kind of keep the same routine every day. So I might veer off a little bit, but I plan my days ahead. My weeks are pretty much planned out. I try to stay organized in that way. And I think that's really important for any agent. Just, you don't have to keep a written calendar. If you keep it in your phone, if you keep it on your computer, if you keep it in your head, just so you know what's going on. Because as a realtor, anything can happen. You can get a phone call and need to go on the other side of town, another county, whatever. So it's important to be organized. So like, if I wasn't organized, I might have missed this call this morning, you know? Seriously.
So before we even dive into your topics and go through them, I'm actually excited because that's topic one is that definitely something I need a lot of help with, or at least a little bit of help with. Okay, take us back and give the audience a little bit of context of like what your first year looked like in real estate. Why did you even get into real estate? And take us on the journey of like your first, second, and 30 years.
Oh, wow. So I got into real estate completely honestly because I got a divorce from my ex-husband and I had a total life change. So I needed to do something that would allow me to be flexible because I wasn't really good with like a traditional 9 to 5. I can kind of do it myself. Like you can tell me one time, give me the outline and I can do it from there. So real estate seemed to be something that would fit the mold for me. And before I got married to my ex, I had taken the real estate class and I think I didn't pass like the national part, or I missed it by a couple of questions. And I wasn't concerned because I was younger and I just didn't care. And so with growth, of course, by this time I'm divorced with a kid and I'm like, oh yeah, you got to do something with your life, you know? So real estate seemed to be compatible to what I needed. And my first year I started, and Zillow was actually my best friend. So my first year, I worked with a lot of buyers, and Zillow reached out, as you know, they do that with new agents. I don't know about now, but then, and they were like, hey, you want to get leads? You can be in this zip code. It was like $175 a month. It's not that today. You know what I mean? It's not that today. So I use that to my advantage. And that's what helped me establish a client base by working with buyers through Zillow.
Wow.
I think you're like one of the only people that we've ever had on the show that's like Zillow is the way to go.
That would admit that they did that, because that's what I did.
Yeah. But I think the perspective that everybody has to keep in mind is this was some time ago. This was
This was 8 years ago.
8 years ago. Different ball game, different market, different platform.
I mean, can you even get one lead off Zillow for $117 now? Never mind per month. Can you even get one fucking lead off Zillow for $117?
I doubt it. I don't even know if that, like, they probably start at, I would say minimum 1,000. I don't know, because fortunately I built myself up over the years to I don't have to rely on that now. But my first year, yeah, that was it.
First mover's advantage though, right? Like it was like, hey, this opportunity, I'm just going to take it. It's interesting how you did get started in like the online. It kind of fell on your lap and you're like, fuck it, I'll try it. I mean, what have you got to lose? You've got nothing anyway. But I might as well try it for $170 or whatever. So how many deals did you do in your first year then?
22.
Oh,
22
shit.
transactions in my first year. Yeah.
So you had a barnstorming first year, all from Zillow.
Well, maybe 3 or 4 were not, but the majority of my buyer clients came from Zillow then.
Wow.
Holy crap, that's a lot. Wow. Talk about a good ROI.
That's the greatest ROI on Zillow leads I've ever heard of. So in a year you spent, let's say $2,000, and that's overestimating. It's more like $1,500, and you got 18 deals. Even if your average commission at the low, I don't know, let's say it's $5,000 or whatever. It's like that's a pretty good ROI on $1,500.
Yeah.
When now people are spending $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month on Zillow leads, and they still convert. Like obviously that's why people are doing it, but it's like it's a different ball game now. And then
it's totally different.
So walk us through your next a few years then. Like, can you give us a rough idea of like transactions of across the last 8?
So second year, I doubled my business, still using Zillow, but I was also doing a lot of referral business with an agent that was about 2 counties over. He advertised a lot on Zillow too, and he would get calls for this area, the Myrtle Beach area, and he was in Florence. And it's like an hour and a half drive maybe with traffic. And it didn't balance out for him. So I had the referral business. I had the Zillow business. Then I was developing my sphere with the client base that I had. So the third year, I maintained about the same thing, 40, 42 transactions. And it was going more so off of Zillow was fading out, referrals were coming in, and then past clients. And it's just name recognition. I know the area here. I'm from here. This is a tourist area, so to speak. So being an original person from here and being able to see the changes throughout the area over the course of time, it helps a lot. So I travel. I don't just hone in on Myrtle Beach because I'm from Conway. So I might be in Conway, Aner, Georgetown, these surrounding areas that people are unfamiliar with and they might not go to. I'll go because I know where I'm going, you know?
I like one of the things that you're saying is like, as you progressed in your career, your business shifted from Zillow to referrals to past clients. For everybody who's just starting out, what did you do initially to get such a high success rate with Zillow or, internet leads? Let's just categorize as internet leads because it doesn't matter whether it's Zillow, Facebook, YouTube, it's all applicable in the same sense that the traffic source is online, right? So did you work them a specific way? Did you have a specific follow-up? Because that is a very high conversion rate, especially for somebody who's new in the business.
I answer my phone.
No, not an option. Not an option. New agents, that's not an option. We know audiences go, no answering of the phone. Next. All right.
I answer my phone. I still answer my phone. If I cannot answer the phone and it's ringing, I'll shoot a quick text or I'll try to get back. Respond to people because it's a catalog of people to choose from. In my area, our MLS has 5,000 realtors right now. When I started, it was still about 4,500. That's a lot of people. So if they can't get a hold of you, they're going to call somebody else because there's somebody else to call. So you have to be responsive. Follow up. Just answer your phone, answer your emails, be responsive. That's the key for me. Communication is key. That's what we hear all the time. So that's true in everything.
Hey, I just wanted to jump in here and let you know if you would like access to over 26 of the top agents in the country to help you scale your business, then head over to eliteagentsecrets.com/partner, or you can just click the link in the description below. Now back to the show.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things that I'm seeing. Like I just got an email, I had a listing and I just responded via email right away to the gentleman. He's like, wow, I wasn't expecting a response until, the next day or the day after that, usually, right? And just because of that, I feel like that automatically puts me ahead of everybody else. But I'm also from the Northeast tri-state area, right? So when I moved down here to Florida, everybody's running on Florida time. I feel like I have a single competitive advantage by being a lot more responsive, just because I run on a different time, almost like a different time zone.
go live in, anyone listening, go fucking live in New York for a year, and then you'll realize how fucking slow you are. Then you will, like, I lived that shit. And like, you're running 1,000 miles an hour, you wait 25 hours a day, and you feel slow as fuck in New York. Like, New York's a fast state. Like, like, I was in New York City, I was in the center of Manhattan. It's like, okay, the reason they make so much goddamn money is they work every waking hour. Like, but
always
like, I want to call this for what it is. It's like, just call the damn leads and get back to people. Here's the thing with real estate. The barrier to entry is so low, but the barrier to beat most agents is also remarkably fucking low, right? Because most people do nothing. Like, it's something so simple as like, call the leads. Like, we produce leads for agents, and they're like, oh, the leads aren't converting. And we look and go, you've never called any of these leads, or you called this lead like 7 days after. It's like, it's the mentality. I mean, one thing I think you had on your side, whether you realized it at the time, is you kind of like, got my child, got a divorce, like, I've got to make money, I need time, money. And it's like, so you've just got this mama bear hustle where you're like, come fucking hell or high water, I'm making bread. Like, that's it. There's no, it was like, make money or die trying type mentality. And like, that's the truth of it. But do you want to know what's crazy? When people are in that burn boat situation where they've got no way back, all of a sudden there's a lot of successful people, and it's like, everyone can be that person. That mentality is a mindset thing, right? And if you can program yourself to be like, I'm burning my boats, like, child's got to support these people. Like, is your kid going to go without food? There's no fucking way. Like, that isn't even an option in your head. Like, no part of your sphere is like, oh yeah, my baby's going to go without food. Never happening. So we're going to close deals.
Right. No matter what. Yeah.
I think that's what a lot of people are missing. And I think that's an integral part of your success, because it was like, you scaled very quickly. A new agent, to get to 22 deals, you leverage, and then 40 odd, and you basically maintain that. And I'm assuming that's just where you're happy at. You're like, I do 40 deals a year, make a good chunk of money. And it's the lifestyle that you also want, right? I'm assuming you get your time and financial freedom in balance with about 40.
Yeah. I would love to do more, but scheduling, I'm still a single mom, and I have a disabled mom that I take care of. So that's kind of like, I got stuff to do too. So I would definitely love to do more. And that's the goal. But I'm good where I'm at as well.
Yeah, you got to hire that team. That's the next stage for you, Jacinda. It's the team.
So I think when you say doing more, I think it would be good for us to have like an anchor. When you say more, Myrtle Beach, I mean, what's your average price points in Myrtle Beach? Because I've been down in Myrtle Beach. It's absolutely lovely. If you haven't, have to check it out.
Average now is about $380.
Okay, so if you're at 40, where would be like that goal that you're shooting for?
I don't know. You know what? That's a good question. You sound like my big asking me, what's your goal? Let's have a one-on-one. What's your goal for the year? So I would say, I don't know if I want to increase transactions or increase sales volume. If we're going to go for volume, as opposed to me doing 7 million last year, I'd like to do 10 or 11 million this year, and that's feasible because I've done that level of progression every year. So I'm not going to say I want to do 60 transactions. I might, but I'd rather do 10 million with 40 transactions than 10 million with 60, because, less work for me, work smarter, not harder.
Exactly. And then, Andrew and I, that's why we bring this up, because we always find a way. The quickest way to earn more is to go from the 380s to 480s, right? From 480s to 580s.
Right.
And then eventually, right, you go into your million, and now all of a sudden you have to do 7 transactions instead of 40 to make the same amount of bread, and you can really just kick it, right? Unless you want to keep on going, right? Then that's totally okay as well. So I think with your first topic, if I can do the honors on this one, is planning your day is going to be critical and crucial because you are, single mom. You do have other responsibilities. I'm a new dad. I'm trying to still figure this whole thing out. My planning is absolute shit, or it seems like it, because I feel like my day is going to go X, and all of a sudden it is so far from the distant made up plan that I have made the day before or even the morning of. How do you manage to stay on track? How do you plan your day? How do you structure it so you don't get, railroaded sideways into a completely different direction?
I'm not going to say it doesn't happen because it does. But if I have things written down for me, once I do that, I mark that off. If I don't get something that was on my agenda done for the day, then it's on tomorrow. I have to add it to that next day. And it's not done until it's marked off because something might happen. Somebody might call me. Anything could happen. I'll get stuck in traffic. There could be a wreck. There could be, kid gets the nose bust at school. Who knows? Anything can happen. And so therefore you have to kind of be able to adjust and be flexible because just because it's written down doesn't mean it's going to happen that day. But that's what I set my goal to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. With goals, out of curiosity, I guess I'm curious because I have goals and I only ever do 5 a day. That's how I do it because I think 5 is it's a very manageable amount. It's like 5 big tasks. So I call them needle movers. So every day I have a maximum of 5 things. And this doesn't include responding to text or emails. That shit is just that's a day. Like this includes I make 100 call. I don't do cold calling, but it's 100 cold calls. So for us, it's reach out to all the leads within 5 minutes, do at least 30 reach out to the leads today, things like that. And it's what is getting us closer to the end goal of doing more deals? Right? It's how do we do more transactions? So for us, we run a lot online lead generation. So it might be launch the new listing ads for this property. It might be launch new buyer ads. It might be launch our new webinar for new home buyers. And these are needle moving tasks because they are going to get us leads in the door that we can either call or they can get pre-approved by our lenders, things of that nature. Do you have a certain number or is it just a bigger and bigger list? Because I find when I have even if it's 10, I find 10 really fucking overwhelming. I'm looking, I'm like, shit, that's a lot of stuff to do. That's why I think 5 is such a good number for me.
5 is a great number. Do I have a certain number? Not really, but I try. I don't think I'm gonna have 10 things on my agenda for the day. That's too much.
Yeah.
5 is good. 6 or 7, and sometimes those might include make sure you go to the grocery store and pick up this item. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just stuff that has to be done. And like you said, make that time to make those phone calls. I have to do that, because you get the alerts. You don't want to be on red and then you're not going to get any leads. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So you're is your diary like your Bible and you're a big time blocker? Is that what you're like between 9 and 11, I'm calling leads? That is my core, follow-up time? Or how do you structure your day? Is it structured like that?
I have a morning routine. So I get up at 5:30. I work out. I come home, take a shower. That. If I veer off of that, my day is kind of thrown off because that's the base of my day. And then now I have started going into the office because my son's in summer camp and his camp is close to the office. So I might be in the office from 10 to 11 and that's when I'm answering emails and that's when I'm making necessary phone calls that need to be made. I'm calling back my lenders, the attorneys, whatever to make sure our closings and stuff are on track. And then after 12, it's kind of, okay, what else do I need to do today? Oh, I got to call this person. I need to follow up with that person, blah, 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 blah.
Got it. That makes sense. I mean, it's interesting. Another thing that I just picked up on that I also think I like highlighting stuff for listeners in case they miss it, but it's I've got a morning routine. My day gets thrown off without it. And also the fact that you layer in fitness and it's you're keeping yourself, your body kind of worn out, so to speak, getting those endorphins pumping and but it's mentally you will drain yourself throughout the day. But if you're physically tend to be in better shape, you've got more mental resilience where you can keep going for longer. I mean, I'm not even going to lie. You couldn't pay me enough to get up at 5:30 in the morning. I don't give a But you'd be like, yo, I've got $1 million. I don't give a shit. It's all yours. You ain't. You're on the other end.
That's a lie, my friend.
No, not 5:30. Well, 5:30 Eastern, I might get it. But
when I get up early like that, I get so much more done before 12 o'clock noon.
Yeah.
And so that leaves me the afternoon to have, I could work stuff in like that.
Yeah. Well, this is the, I guess, inherent advantage I have because I work over from the UK. I'm 5 hours different. So me getting up at 10 a.m. my time is 5 a.m. Eastern. Right.
Well, there you have it. Lucky you.
So he's inadvertently buying time.
I'm inadvertently ahead of the game. Thanks for listening to this episode. If you would like one-on-one access to over 26 of the top agents in the country to help you scale your business, then head over to eliteagentsecrets.com/partner, or you can just click the link in the description below.